You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
All right, now it's 7. February is Black History Month, and a Joplin Museum is celebrating a native son.
Also, Cherokee County Commissioners discuss the procedures for getting and giving a raise.
And take a look at this sunrise over downtown Pittsburgh. A beautiful start to a beautiful day on what's been pretty much a beautiful week. The details in the forecast to get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. on this Tuesday, February the 25th. Good morning to you. Welcome. It is going to be another fantastic day across the 4 states. Don't let it fool you, though. We're still technically in winter.
Right.
And it can still snow. It snowed as late as April in this area. I think we've actually had some snow in some locations as late as May. Not saying that's going to happen, but just a reminder, we're not quite out of the woods yet, but certainly an enjoyable day ahead of us.
Absolutely. And as February draws to a close, the Joplin Museum is honoring Black History Month with an exhibit about Langston Hughes.
KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more about how you can see the display.
A very vibrant Black history for our community.
The Joplin History and Mineral Museum announced its temporary exhibit called Harlem Renaissance and the Renaissance Man.
A exhibit in this room on the Black experience in Joplin through the years.
Bring us all together and hopefully teach everyone something.
It honors Langston Hughes, who was born in Joplin. He was an African-American poet who advocated for racial justice through his writing. The president of the Langston Hughes Cultural Society says he's a crucial part of African-American history and Joplin's history.
It's a big part of especially African-American history, but history for Joplin. I mean, he went on to do great things, and so he's honored several other places, but this was his birthplace. This was home.
Great insight into these two great men who really kind of pushed the art world.
The exhibit also highlights his friendship and collaboration with Gordon Parks, an influential photographer who documented the civil rights movement in the 1960s, capturing photos of leaders like Martin Luther King Jr.
Traveling exhibit that is being produced by the Gordon Parks Museum out of Fort Scott. And we have a copy of it here that talks about the friendship between Langston Hughes and Gordon Parks, two of the bigger names from the Harlem Renaissance movement.
Hawes says her group is working on turning Hughes's birthplace into a memorial.
His birthplace over on Joplin Street into some kind of like poetry garden or something like that for people to come and just spend time and be in the moment and remember Langston for the poet that he was.
Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, while Black History Month ends this week, the exhibit does not. Now, visitors can still learn about Langston Hughes' life and work through April 30th.
I remember even in elementary school, that was something that was taught to us when we read Langston Hughes poems and things that he wrote, is that he's from here. And for those of you who don't know, a stretch of Broadway is also named as Langston Hughes Boulevard. So a lot of history. And we talked about this yesterday. A lot of great folks have come from the 4 states in general. So remember, you can do anything you want as long as you put your mind to it. And we're going to put our mind to enjoying today's weather. Maybe that means you're going to wake up and you're going to look outside, you're going to know what the weather is, and you're going to call the boss. I'm really sick. I gotta stop. I'm not saying do that, but if you do that, hey, it's a great day.
You know who to blame if you do.
Yeah, the bosses know who to blame. Yeah, the new who to blame. Let's take a look outside. That beautiful sunrise downtown Pittsburgh. Here it comes. Looks great. Just a few clouds out there, and that is the expectation through today. Another great shot. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. As folks get their day underway on this beautiful Tuesday. Some of you, you got work you got to do. Hey, we're here. We got to work. I get it. The world has to move on. It has to keep going, and so somebody's got to keep it going. Take a look, though. Future track, again, just a few clouds, maybe a brief moment of partly cloudy skies here and there. Clouds will begin to increase, though, later this evening into the overnight hours ahead of tomorrow's rain chances. But we've got just a gorgeous day. Winds are calm. So we got kind of a wide spread of temperatures. Again, right now the coldest location is Miami, sitting at 28, and 9 degrees warmer though just up the pike in Joplin at 37. And warmer spots, we've got Monette and Cassville both sitting at 41. So a bit of a chilly start, but not that bad, all things considered. We are looking at our highs today into the upper 60s and low 70s. Again, a few clouds here and there. Those clouds begin to increase though a little later this evening. And we'll have that southwest breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Thanks to the clouds, we'll be a little warmer tonight, a little cooler tomorrow with the rain, and then we've got another round of warm weather and another round of rain. Details on all of that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a suspect wanted in connection to a shooting investigation is now behind bars. Jasper County Prosecuting Attorney's Office issued a warrant for Andrew M. Reed of Joplin for multiple charges, including unlawful use of a weapon, unlawful possession of a firearm, and first-degree property damage. Now, authorities booked Reed into the Joplin jail yesterday. The investigation stems from an incident on February 15th, shortly after 2 a.m. when Joplin police received reports of shots fired in the area of 5th and Joplin. Officers found no suspects or victims, but at least 2 vehicles and 2 buildings had been damaged by gunfire. Well, a Kansas game warden takes a suspect into custody after a multi-county pursuit with air support. Now, it happened Sunday, starting in Neosho County and crossing into Crawford County. It started as a vehicle chase, then a crash into a creek, a foot chase, a UTV chase, back to a foot pursuit ending east of Pittsburgh near 30th and 570th Avenue. Now, troopers put up air support and, along with the Crawford County Sheriff's Office and Kansas Wildlife and Parks game wardens, they set up a perimeter. Now, troopers were able to find the 29-year-old suspect from Fort Scott, and a game warden took him into custody. EMS took the man to a local hospital for possible injuries suffered during the crash. Online court documents do not list any active charges at this time. And a police chase in Galena, Kansas ends in a crash. Galena police responded to a call Sunday night after a resident reported a suspect attempting to break into their home. Officers located the suspect's vehicle near 7th and Short Street and attempted a traffic stop, but the driver fled, leading police on a pursuit. Now, the chase ended when the suspect crashed into a field near 90th and Flum Road. The suspect tried to run from the scene but was quickly arrested. Galena police say the suspect will face multiple charges, including felony stealing and fleeing from law enforcement. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, in a meeting yesterday, the Cherokee County Commission discussed whether elected officials in the county could give themselves a raise. Now, this comes after the Cherokee County clerk gave herself a raise of more than $14,000. KOAM's Samantha Walker has the details.
At a meeting earlier this month, commissioners say they were caught off guard by an unexpected raise given to the Cherokee County Clerk, Rebecca Brassert, an increase of more than $14,000. Commissioners say the elected official had given herself the raise without the commission's knowledge. The clerk has worked with the county for more than 2 decades. We spoke with Brassert, who says she thought she was going through the correct process because it was how other county positions have gotten raises in the past. We spoke with one commissioner who says in the past, elected officials have given themselves small raises that were approved by the commission in payroll, but they say this raise was so significant and so sudden, with the commission having no prior knowledge of it, that it drew questions of what was allowed. At the time, commissioners set the clerk's pay back to the amount it had been prior to the new raise, just under $46,000 for the clerk position. Commissioners asked the county councilor to look into what precedent there was for elected officials, like county clerks, granting themselves raises or whether they had to be approved by the county commission. The councilor says the county handbook indicates it's up to the commission to approve salaries. He says he also looked at other cases across the state involving elected officials and changes to their salaries, which also indicate those changes had to first be approved by the County Commission. The counselor says, therefore, raises in Cherokee County must be approved by the Commission. The county counselor advised the Cherokee County Commission that they should look at setting a resolution that would set salaries for elected offices. He recommends that resolution explicitly say what positions like sheriff, county attorney, and county clerks make. Reporting in Cherokee County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now, currently, there aren't set salaries. The commission just approves payroll bi-weekly. Now, commissioners say they will look into adopting a resolution setting those elected official salaries within the coming weeks. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Jasmine Kyle from the SEK Humane Society is with us this morning to share how a new program could allow you access to free pet food. And later, Charlene shows Chris an easy pie recipe. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We have Jasmine Kyle from the SEK Humane Society with us this morning to share more on a program allowing pet owners access to free food and supplies. And of course, introduce us to this furry friend here, Bilbo. Good morning to you both. How are you doing?
Good. So yeah, this is Bilbo. He's a gorgeous yellow lab that we have. Now, we usually don't see this breed at our shelter. It's a little on the rare side, but Bilbo is about 3 years old now. I personally fostered him last night. He's a good dog, you guys, like a really good dog. He knows how to sit. He doesn't mind cats at all. If you're looking for somebody to go on the couch with you to do a big old snuggle, like he's gonna be your.
Oh, look at this.
He's gonna be your boy. Like this is what he loves. So if you're not into like couch cuddles and everything, maybe Bilbo's not the guy. But if you're looking for a dog that's gonna give you attention and be your best buddy for life, Bilbo's fantastic. And he's already ready to go, neutered, heartworm tested, up to date on vaccinations, microchipped. So he's ready. And of course, you could even foster to adopt him too.
And so if someone does, adopt a Bilbo and they need some free food or supplies, you're having a new program going on starting March 1st. Talk to me about that.
So that is this Saturday. We've been working on this program for almost half a year. So we started the program during the pandemic. When people really needed food assistance, in all honesty. So we started to get a massive of calls and in the fall of last year. So we started to reach out, and now thanks to Chewy, the United States Humane Society, and Humane for Animals, we have been able to acquire about 22 pallets, about 40,000 pounds of pet food and pet supplies. And when I say that, that goes from anything from dog food to cat food to kitty litter. It's not all pets, it's not all dogs and cats either. I got to see the pallets in person. There's guinea pig petting, like bedding, there's some horse supplies. So the program starts this weekend, completely free. Basically, you drive on up, come on inside our shelter. Everybody gets a max item of 2 items just because of due to the high demand. But it can be anything off that pellet, a giant 50-pound bag of dog food, a thing of kitty litter, anything that you may absolutely need. We're trying to assist as much as we can right now, but it is going to be operating on the weekends. We definitely recommend you get there Saturday, especially with the program starting up. We usually start off with 1 pallet. We're getting ready for 2 this weekend because the last time we did this, we had a line all the way down the bypass, and we were out within an hour. So Friday evening of this week, we will post pictures of the pallets. That way, if we have individuals driving in, they know what's on the pallets, and they can get kind of a sneak peek of what's going to be happening.
Wonderful. Well, that's very exciting. Of course, thank you so much for bringing Bilbo
Thank you
in.
guys.
Absolutely adorable. We love having you guys here. Thanks so much. Stick around. We'll be right back.
There we go. That was my fault. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:18 on this Tuesday morning. Live look downtown Pittsburgh. Got just a few clouds out there. We've got the sun shining. Another beautiful day ahead of us. Same from the Modoc camera. 20th and range line in Joplin. The sun back over to back behind me. So folks probably got their sun visors down. That's the only disadvantage to really sunny mornings or evenings is sometimes, the sun gets in just the right position where no matter what you do, you can't block it and then you can't see while you're driving. But that's okay. We'll take some sunshine. For today, we're looking at mostly clear skies and eventually clouds beginning to increase as we go later into the evening. And then overnight, we'll go mostly cloudy, and that is ahead of our rain chances as we go into tomorrow morning. We've got this wide boundary. Take a look at the wind shift line from here to here, a gap in between. Ahead of this boundary, we're going to have southerly winds at about 5 to 10. Behind it, northerly winds 5 to 10. Because of the clouds, it will be a little cooler tomorrow. And we got those rain chances. Now, we have slightly better chances, I think, before 1 p.m., but we could still see a lingering shower or sprinkle into the afternoon. But again, the slightly better chances are going to be before 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Skies will otherwise be mostly cloudy until we go overnight. They'll start to clear out, so we'll lose the cloud blanket. And of course, it's going to be cooler tomorrow, so it will be a bit of a chilly start for us on Thursday. Temperatures Thursday just a few degrees warmer than tomorrow, but still cooler than where we are today, or where we're expected to be today. But we'll get plentiful sunshine out there ahead of even more beautiful warm weather going into our Friday. This morning, temperatures look like this. They're a bit chilly in some spots. Warm spots right now, Monette, Cassville sitting at 41, and the cold spot at this point is still Miami sitting at 28. But still, a chilly start out there. You definitely want a jacket or a light jacket. Thankfully, the winds are calm. But it will warm up quite nicely today like it did yesterday. Just a few clouds here and there. Low 40s to start, upper 50s, getting close to 60 by 11 o'clock this morning. That's ahead of our highs, going right about 70. So yeah, give or take a degree or two on either side of that. Few clouds, southwest breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Into the evening, again, clouds begin to increase a bit. And that'll slow down our temperature drop because the clouds will act like that thermal blanket. Now, they'll do that, of course, any time of year. It's just a little more notable in the wintertime when it keeps us a little milder overnight than what we're used to. So upper 40s, maybe even some low 50s tonight. Not a big drop in temperatures. South breeze 5 to 10. We'll have the showers tomorrow, upper 50s, low 60s. Same, but just without the rain on Thursday. Windy, 70. Friday, not a bad weekend. Some clouds, a little cooler, but not bad. Maybe some evening showers on Sunday. As we head into next week, temperatures do start to fall back a bit because we're not done with winter yet, but we're also watching next Tuesday. Now, right now, we're still too far away, and because this is similar to winter weather in the sense that we're just barely looking at, severe weather season, and the main season's the peak season, still a ways away. But the data does suggest that we could have a strong storm or two Tuesday, but it's still very far out, and I guarantee you a lot is going to change. But something we'll keep an eye on, and of course we'll keep you updated on. Otherwise, between here and there, just enjoy this beautiful weather. That's Check Your Forecast. We are back with more right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Again, our good friend Charlene Patton from the Kansas Soybean Commission joining us. Always a pleasure to have you down here. I was just telling you, my wife makes amazing meals at home. I eat very well at home. But when I'm here, this is probably the healthiest I eat is each time that you visit. So that's always good to try and stay as healthy as you can.
And when we're adding soy to our diet, that's the benefit of it because it's heart healthy and we're getting a lot of good benefits with the soy protein.
We are, and we've got another cool recipe here.
We're keeping with that theme of Bake for Family Fun Month. And as I was telling you, this is a great way to introduce pie making to your kids because we've done some shortcuts here and it'll make it easy for them to make their first pie. So what we're going to start with here is I've got 3 cups of apples that I've sliced in here. Okay. And you're going to add some dried cherries. Okay. That's a half a cup of dried cherries. Oh, good. And then let's go with the sugar first. Okay. We have sugar here. That's a cup of sugar that we're going to add in there and I'll mix. And as I'm stirring this together, you're going to add a little bit of the flour and the cinnamon, either one.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I trust you, so we're going to go. You said flour first, so flour is going to be the first one we put in there. And we got some cinnamon to add in as well. Ooh, this already smells. I mean, the crust already smelled great when I came down here. Came over here, and it's already smelling really good now. That's getting all mixed up here.
That flour will help thicken that a little bit as the apples get juicy. So here we have our pastry crust, and in this pastry crust, it's very tender and flaky. It uses 1/3 of a cup of shortening and 1/3 of a cup of our margarine or butter, either one you can use. Mix that together with your flour, a little bit of salt in there, and let the kids use a fork or a pastry blender to make it really fine. And then we're going to add 5 to 7 tablespoons of cold water. Okay. Stir that together and make your dough. And then here, you could put it on a lightly floured board at home. For us here, I have it on this mat. Roll it out to about a 10-inch circle here that we have. Then our mixture here is going to go right in the center. Just put that there. Oh, there we go. Pile it in there, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. It's looking good so far. Now, this one looks pretty easy.
Yes. Now, we're just going to fold that up, and I'll see how that goes there. Good job. That little mat there just really helps to lift it.
Okay. And then we can, we can do the same thing right down in here.
Yes, perfect.
It's kind of like making a dessert taco almost, or a dessert burrito.
And we'll just kind of pinch that together. And then for the last step, I'm going to give you the sugar.
Okay.
But we're just going to sprinkle the sugar on after here, just brushing a little milk here. That'll help make that golden brown. And then you can take the sugar and just sprinkle that on a little bit where we did that. And that'll kind of give it a little bit of special crust. Now, if I was doing this at home with my children or grandchildren, I probably would have done this on the baking sheet, and then they wouldn't have had to move it.
Yeah.
Roll it out. I did that at home when I was making the one that we have here. Bake this at 425 degrees.
Okay.
And then you're going to have that till it's golden brown, about 30 minutes. And then if it's starting to get too brown, you could cover it with foil and then bake it about another 10 minutes.
Okay.
So you have here we have our finished product.
Which looks amazing.
Oh gosh, it's so fun and it's delicious with that crust. And your children will have their first experience making a pie.
Yeah, and it's a simple one to make, delicious, healthy, all of the great things that these kids will enjoy and they won't even realize.
They won't.
It smells great too. So if folks want this recipe, of course, any of the others we've been featuring this month, what should they be doing?
They should go to kansassoybeans.org, or you can go to and call on our phone number at 877-KS-SOYBEAN, and we'll mail them all the recipes for February.
All right, Charlene, thank you so much. And of course, if you missed any of that, worry not. It's on our website as well, KOAMNewsNow.com. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:31. I'm Elise Snowy. Missouri farmers, producers, market managers, and operators made their way to the Neosho Newton County Library yesterday. The library hosted this year's Missouri Farmers Market Conference. The annual event provides a way for markets from across the state to come together and discuss ideas, tips, and tricks. Now, some of the topics this year were issues with parking, pricing, and whether to allow a lot of bakers or coffee shops in the markets.
Each of these markets probably has, on average, 25, some up to 150 vendors. All of those represent small businesses in each of those communities. So sometimes people think, oh, it's just a small market. When they actually look further, what I see is at some of these markets, 25 to, again, 100 or plus small businesses.
Now, the theme for this year's conference was cultivating community. Well, invasive species are taking over Missouri's landscape, and experts say the impacts could be devastating. Now, this is Invasive Species Week, raising awareness about non-native plants and animals that threaten local habitats. The Missouri Department of Conservation is educating the public on how to spot and help control invasive species.
When you have a native species that comes on board, a lot of times it hurts that biodiversity. It cuts out some of the food source. It cuts out maybe some of the animals. It nudges out some of the animals that are needed in this food chain. So it hurts the native species. From the human standpoint, they can also cause economic problems.
Now, for more on how to get involved, visit the department's online field guide. Now let's head over to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we got ourselves a beautiful day. Look at this. Doesn't that look wonderful? Of course it does, because it's February and it's feeling an awful lot like the end of March. Now, we talk about this too. I feel like we're going to have to pay for this at some point, but at least right now, we're not. Don't make faces. I can't help it. That's how it works sometimes. Here in the 4 states, you know. But still, it's great. Let's enjoy it. Great view again, downtown Pittsburgh. 20th and Range Line. MoDOT camera there looking back to the east. Looks great as well. And who knows, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe Mother Nature's truly apologizing for last week, and there will be no repayment of this spring-like debt that we're incurring this weekend and into the beginning of next, too. Well, mostly clear skies today. Maybe a couple of moments of partly cloudy skies. Clouds that will increase later this evening and into the overnight hours. We'll start to go mostly cloudy as we see opportunities for some showers as we head into our Wednesday. Temperatures this morning still a bit on the chilly side out there. Looking around, we got the cool spot still in Miami at 29. A warm spot at this point has now shifted just to Monette, sitting at 40. Otherwise, 30s for the majority of us. So, yeah, a bit chilly out there. It will warm up, though. It'll be slightly warmer than yesterday for some of us. Upper 60s, low 70s, mostly clear skies, and a nice southwest breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We do have additional rain chances. We'll talk about that and how long this warm weather looks to last here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, Abundant Hope, a local faith-based organization in Grove, Oklahoma, is partnering with the health department. The organization is on a mission to help empower and educate families towards self-sufficiency. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has the story.
I'm a foster parent. I've had over a handful of children in my home.
Kelly McCurkle is the executive director of Abundant Hope in Grove, Oklahoma, a nonprofit organization aimed at helping people in 3 key areas.
It's families in crisis, pregnancy, and foster care.
McCurkle says the health department comes twice a month to help a community she says is suffering from homelessness.
We see between 20 and 30 families a month with the health department. And so she can help get them on Sooner Care, WIC, SNAP, help them get car seats. She can write some kind of form to help them get into housing.
The organization also helps mothers during pregnancy. Kelsey Galt, the organization's ultrasound sonographer, says it's just like being at the doctor.
I do have a license in diagnostic medical sonography, so I do have a degree in that. And this is the same ultrasound machine, similar concept, scan on the stomach.
Merkel says this store is utilized as a free store for mothers and children who are in need.
To go shopping in the back. In the back of our facility, we have kind of like a mini Walmart, I call. We have everything for children.
Both Gott and McCurkle says the services are for those who need it. And most importantly, it's free.
We become that short-term stepping stone for them. So now they don't even utilize our facility anymore. And they are growing and are self-sufficient on their own.
Reporting in Grove, Oklahoma, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
And McCorkle says local churches help fund the organization, and also anyone who wants to donate can contact them directly. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A 6-year-old is quick thinking, saves his family from a deadly fire. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, well, President Donald Trump says tariffs placed on Canadian and Mexican goods are about to move forward. Now, the president says his reciprocal tariffs on Mexico and Canada will begin as soon as April. The planned tariffs come as Trump says Canadian and Mexican tariffs on American goods hurt American manufacturing and jobs. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum says she's confident Mexico will reach agreements with the U.S. by this Friday. And the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals upholds the conviction of the founder of a touted blood testing company, Theranos, on investor fraud charges. Elizabeth Holmes was convicted in 2022 on 3 counts of investor fraud and 1 count of conspiracy to commit fraud on investors and sentenced to more than 11 years in prison. Holmes' Theranos blood testing company falsely claimed it could analyze various human conditions like diabetes and cancer in very small blood samples. Well, Apple's new multi-billion-dollar investment in the United States represents the tech company's commitment to creating American-made products. Fox's Anna Olopoulos has more on this story.
A major announcement from Apple Monday. The tech giant committed to investing more than $500 billion in the United States over the next 4 years. Apple's plans include hiring 20,000 workers, expanding data centers in multiple states, and building a new server manufacturing factory in Texas.
And I like that we're having a president who knows business, who wants to engage with business leaders.
In a post on X, Apple CEO Tim Cook called the corporation a, quote, proud American company. Apple's move coming just days after President Trump met with Cook at the White House. The two spoke about moving some of Apple's operations from Mexico to the U.S. after Trump threatened 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico.
He doesn't want to pay tariffs. I met with him at length, and Apple is coming here with tremendous dollars. They're going to be spending a lot of money in the United States, more than they've ever spent by a factor of probably 10.
Apple also making the move after a significant slump in iPhone sales in China last quarter.
Tim Cook and Apple need to de-risk, decouple to some degree from China, okay? President Trump is working with the grain with him on this one.
Meanwhile, earlier this month, President Trump announced a 10% tariff on all goods imported from China, where Apple builds most of its tech products. Apple did not confirm whether its investment plan was in motion before President Trump took office. Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories this morning. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:44 now on this Tuesday morning. It's our live look downtown Pittsburgh, looking fantastic so far this morning. And of course, we're getting the same view from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline. Lots of folks out on the roadway getting their day started, and it is going to be another beautiful day. I wonder how many of these folks maybe called in and are on their way out of town to go enjoy the day in nature. I wouldn't blame them if they did, because after last week, boy, I think we all need to get outside at least just one day. All right, we're looking at mostly clear skies, maybe some brief partly cloudy skies through most of today. It'll be later this evening. I will start to see clouds increase, and eventually we'll go mostly cloudy overnight ahead of a boundary approaching as we go into Wednesday morning. But check out the gap on this boundary. Almost no wind movement here in between. We have a wind shift line here and back here, and in between we'll get some showers. Now ahead of it, we're going to have southerly winds about 5 to 10, behind it northerly winds 5 to 10. While it will be a little cooler, most of this is not directly associated with the boundary itself. It's more so associated with just the cloud cover. We won't get as much sunshine. We'll have slightly better chances for showers before 1 p.m. Some isolated showers or sprinkles still possible after that point, but again, the better chances will be before 1 o'clock. At least that's how it's appearing so far as we head into our Wednesday. Again, we'll still be a bit above normal. It's just be a little cooler than where we were yesterday and where we're going to be today. Now, skies will clear late Wednesday into early Thursday. Now, because of that, we lose the clouds, we lose the thermal blanket, therefore, we have another chilly start to the day on Thursday. Thursday's highs will only be a few degrees warmer than what we see on Wednesday, but we'll have more sunshine out there. Winds will start to increase, and it'll be breezy as we head into Friday, but it'll be even warmer on Friday than it will be tomorrow or Thursday. Temperatures this morning, definitely want a jacket. Winds are pretty calm out there at this point. But we do have some cool temperatures. The warm spot right now still looks to be Monette, sitting now at 42, and the cold spot is now shifted to Pittsburgh, it looks like, at 30. The cold spot's been Miami most of the morning, hanging out in the upper 20s. But again, a bit chilly, but it will warm up. How warm will it get? Well, it will be very warm. Camera at 7th and Rangeline. You can see some clouds off in the distance, looking pretty good. Few clouds out there, low 40s to start, pushing near 60 by 11 o'clock this morning. Keep in mind, average highs, low 50s. We're looking to be upwards of almost 20 degrees above normal in some cases, with mostly clear skies, highs about 70. I remember 15 counties, so some of us may be upper 60s. Others, though, the low 70s, and those who get into the low 70s will be closer to that 20 degrees above normal zone. Southwest winds a little lighter today, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clouds again will increase through the evening. That'll slow our temperature drop because it'll work as that blanket trapping in some of that warmer air, so a bit more mild overnight. Still chilly, but more mild tonight. Back into the upper 40s, maybe even some low 50s. South breeze at about 5 to 10 tonight. Tomorrow, here we go. Upper 50s, low 60s. Same temperatures for Thursday, just more sunshine. Better on Friday, but breezy, but similar to what we're expecting today. Not a bad weekend. Some clouds here and there, and maybe some evening showers on Sunday. Now, next week, again, we're still a ways I didn't need that anyway. We are still a ways away, but we are watching Tuesday for the possibility of maybe some thunderstorms, maybe some strong storms. Something we'll definitely keep an eye on for you as we get a little closer. It's still early, but definitely something to give you a heads up on, something we'll be watching. I'm going to take care of that, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Well, a 6-year-old boy in Missouri is being hailed as a hero after saving his family from a house fire last week.
He alerted the family in time for them to escape the flames. Megan Kernan reports.
What did you think, Stephen, whenever it was happening?
I think I should do the right thing.
And that's exactly what 6-year-old Stephen Langley did.
After I had gotten supper and everything ready, I went just really quickly to jump into the shower, and before I did that, I lit a candle.
Stephen's mom, Cheyenne Langley, says she put the candle on the edge of her bookcase, and not even 10 minutes later.
Xander came into the bathroom and said, "Mommy, I smell smoke."
I was crying, and then I said, "Mommy," and then she jumped out of the shower.
The freak accident, I don't know if the candle exploded or if it caught something on the bookcase on fire, but by the time I got out, my whole entire bookcase was covered in flames.
The fire started spreading quickly from the primary bedroom to their children's rooms.
I just grabbed a towel really quick, grabbed all my kids, and alerted my husband and my father-in-law downstairs, and we just ran outside.
The outside of their house on Amherst might not look badly damaged, but inside it's completely destroyed with smoke damage and soot covering every floor. University City Deputy Chief Fire Marshal Fred Kramer says the 6-year-old alerted his family before the smoke detector went off.
That it's some of the worst smoke damage, from one-room fire, that could have hampered them from getting out of the house if he had not done what he did as quick as he did.
Stephen's quick actions saved his family.
We have always told him that when there is an emergency to alert someone, so I'm glad that he did that.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do, and he helped get his family out before the fire got worse.
Certainly an incredible story of heroism.
Unbelievable,
there.
yes. Great.
Great things come in packages of all sizes.
Absolutely.
Including 6-year-olds. Very cool. And it's not it's very cool this morning, but not by this afternoon as temperatures are expected to warm. Let's take one more look at that forecast for you. We're expecting mostly clear skies through the majority of the day, eventually going mostly partly cloudy by this evening as clouds increase. Mostly cloudy overnight tonight into tomorrow. Ahead of a few changes, we got some shower chances out there. Now this boundary is still a bit of a wide gap from this wind shift line to the other, so in the middle, nothing moves, kind of like on the Sargasso Sea. We'll have shower chances. I think the better chances are going to be before 1, but a few lingering showers may continue, maybe a sprinkle or 2 into the afternoon. Otherwise, we're mostly cloudy. We're a little cooler, but not because of that boundary. We're not talking a cold front that's going to bring in polar air by any means. It's just really the clouds are going to keep us from warming up too much. It'll begin to clear overnight into Thursday, so that does mean we're going to get a little colder out there into Thursday morning. Thursday's highs, although we'll have more sunshine than we will on Wednesday, they'll only be a few degrees warmer than what we're going to see as we head into Wednesday. Temperatures, one last look at those this morning. Again, a bit on the cool side out there. We got 30 in Pittsburgh, 42 in Monette, so most of us, though, into the 30s as we get our day started. Low 40s out there, some upper 30s, few clouds, and near 60 by 11 a.m. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A multi-county pursuit ends with an arrest. The pursuit starting in Neosho County and crossing into Crawford County. The 28-year-old suspect from Fort Scott was located and arrested east of Pittsburgh. There are no active charges at this time. And Andrew M. Reed of Joplin is now behind bars in connection to a shooting investigation. The Jasper County Prosecuting Attorney's Office issued a warrant for Reed for multiple charges. The investigation stems from an incident on February 15th from reports of shots fired in the area of 5th and Joplin. A police chase in Galena, Kansas ends in a crash. Sunday night, Galena police responded to a call after a resident reported a suspect attempting to break into their home. The suspect was located and led police into a pursuit until the vehicle crashed into a field. The suspect will face multiple charges, including felony stealing and fleeing from law enforcement.
And we got a chilly start to the day, but do not worry, it will be warm again, about 70 out there. Mostly clear skies, southwest breeze at 5 to 10. Clouds increasing this evening and overnight. That slows down our temperature drop. Upper 40s, maybe some low 50s tonight. Mostly cloudy, south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Shower chances, better chances before 1 p.m., maybe a sprinkle or two after that. Little cooler tomorrow and Thursday. More sunshine Thursday, breezy Friday, warm again. Not a bad weekend. And we got those shower chances rolling into next week. So Monday into Tuesday again, it's still a ways out. We'll keep an eye on it for you. But we are watching that possibility of some thunderstorms, maybe a couple of strong storms. But again, a ways out. We'll keep you updated as we get a little closer. Otherwise, just enjoy this beautiful weather.
Absolutely. Well, a new outdoor attraction is coming to Joplin. City leaders and community members broke ground on the Dover Outdoor Recreation Area yesterday afternoon.
Now, the project, funded by the city's Parks and Stormwater Sales Tax, a state tourism grant, and hotel tax revenue, will feature a bicycle single track, BMX pump track, children's playground, and skills features. Construction begins soon with an expected opening date late this year or early next year. So this comes, Dover Hill was a big, just kind of open field and park area. They built the elementary school there. Folks still wanted some kind of recreation, and this is what they're getting. I think it's going to be a great addition.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good into your morning. We are back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.